Your third delegate speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is Carolyn Rush. She's 24 years old, and she's from the Olympic city of Vancouver in Canada. She's Global Vice President of ISAC, I'm told, a dynamic student organization, and she's the recipient of the Canadian Millennium Excellence Award, which recognizes leadership, innovation, and community service. It's my privilege to welcome Carolyn onto the stage to address you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is an absolute pleasure and a little bit nerve-wracking to be with all of you here today. I began 2009 quite far removed from anything to do with the environment or climate change, which is surprising, given that I am from a city that's surrounded by water, mountains, and a beautiful temperate rainforest. My backyard is literally supernatural. And it also happens to be the city, as mentioned, that will soon host one of the most sustainable and warmest Winter Olympic Games on record. So growing up in Vancouver, I had every opportunity to get involved in climate change issues and causes, but like many of my peers, I simply didn't. Today, I begin 2010 with a clear conviction and passion for our role as youth in our environment's future. And this is particularly because of a project I had the opportunity to work on in the past few months. It was a global survey on climate change and youth opinions surrounding the topic. So the results of this survey and the clear need for our generation to take action was what caused me to change my mind and my actions. This survey was conducted by ISAC, the world's largest youth-run organization, and Kairos Future, a leading international futures research firm, in November of 2009. Today I speak on behalf of the more than 3,000 youth who shared their thoughts from 120 countries on climate change and the role of our planet. In reference to the resolution before us, I'd like to share some of the facts with you. So when looking at our resolution here today, what does today's youth believe, and does today's youth believe that climate change will seriously affect future generations? Well, 71% of global youth believe that climate change is the biggest environmental problem and nothing else is more serious. 9 out of 10 global youth believe that climate change is a man-made problem and that it is occurring at a pace that's faster than normal. And finally, the majority of today's youth, 73%, believe that climate change is a bigger threat to society than war or terrorism. So secondly, should we direct our call to action towards governments? Well, 3 out of 4 respondents feel that people and organizations who should do something about climate change are not doing enough. And more than 6 out of 10 believe that the solution to climate change is political rather than technological. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I think that some of those results are not that surprising to people in this room. And I'd like to speak a little bit about the last part of our resolution, where it asks that the effects of these targets be met by 2020. I believe that today's youth play a key role not only in calling for our voices to be heard, but also in resolving to deliver what we're demanding. Calling for intergenerational equity when considering the future of our planet requires equal action on our part. And frankly, my friends, the outlook here is quite grim. Despite all of the previous facts that pointed to clear convictions from today's youth on the need for action, only 20% of us describe ourselves as very engaged on climate change issues. So perhaps this is the biggest opportunity we have to make an impact. So how do we engage ourselves and our peers? Well, we found out a couple of things here as well. Firstly, involve friends and social networks. What would make today's youth, our peers, more active in limiting our impact on climate change is if the people around them got involved. Well, we're the people around them and around each other, and we must avoid this tendency towards somebody else-ism. Secondly, infrastructure development. If there's no infrastructure in a place to support climate-smart living, it is impossible to adjust your footprint regardless of how motivated you are. And finally, educate online. The flexibility and far reach of social media is by far the best tool we have to educate and involve our peers. We must continue to lead by example in our actions and behaviors both today and in our roles in the future. Through social media, infrastructure development, and education, we do have the power to change the course of our planet's future, and One Young World is a prime example of how to start. As was mentioned last night, The minds and bodies in this room have a lot of work to do. What we decide upon here today requires world leaders and it requires youth leaders. The solution demands commitment and action from both parties. Here today in this room, we are truly one young world, and quite simply, the time to act is now. Thank you.